Okay, we just got back from the property. We just finished meeting with the other owners of the property, and we were addressing the concerns we had with the neighbor encroaching on our property. And I don't think it's as big a deal as we made it out to be, but I think it's resolvable, and so we still want to move forward. So I believe the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make an offer on the property. So we're going to gather our thoughts, kind of think about how we want to structure this offer, and we want to be creative with this offer in that we're trying to get them to carry the loan. That way we can get a kind of like a jumbo loan or an all-encompassing loan for when we do our construction loan. And it's easier to get that if we have the land and it's being carried for us. Otherwise, you have to get a land loan first, and then you have to get another loan, and that loan buys it. Anyhow, it's way easier, and the time process is kind of condensed if we can get them to carry the loan. We can basically go right into owning the property, which is great. So hopefully we can structure something that everybody's going to be happy with. We're really excited. We really walked away from that property. I think it's really starting to set in that this is where we want to build. This is what we want to do. And I couldn't be happier. So our first objectives, we talked to the city today, is we wanted to talk about water and power. I've since talked to them about water, and it looks like it's about, for 3-inch service, it's about $11,000 standard connection fee plus any road damage fees. And for a 2-inch connection, it's about $6,900 or $6,500 plus the road damage fee. That's only to get a meter in the street. Then I still need to dig and put pipe all the way up to my property, which is about 1,000 feet, and there needs to be a backflow valve. It's going to cost a bit of money to get water up to the property. So I think what we're going to do first is we're going to get a large water tank and get that filled up and live off of that in an RV for a while. I figure maybe if we get a 4,000 or 5,000 gallon tank, that should last us maybe a month or two. So just comparing it with what we use in our home and watering and the pool, we use about 28,000 gallons over a 2-month period. I believe when we really condense that down to just showering and cooking, it's going to be a lot less. So we've got an idea, or Colleen's got a great idea for a covered RV area that later we'll be able to turn into probably our barn space for the goats. So we're going to build it with that in mind. We got a little target location that we've got picked out, and I think Colleen's going to work the next couple of weeks on drawing something up, and then I'll CAD it and see what it's going to take to actually build it. And then next we're going to have to get an RV, get a storage container, and we really want to time things so we don't have like a mid-move here. So we really want to move from our place directly to the RV. Luckily, I got to play kind of a bit of a balancing act trying to time our move out of here with owning the property and having an RV and having power and everything like that on there. We can do things to bridge the gaps where we can have solar power and until we get temporary power, and like I said, a tank for water until we get the other thing, until we get real city water installed, which they said takes about 3 months once we pull the trigger on it. I mean, I guess we get the pipes in and buried, but anyhow, that's still going to take months and months. So with that being said, we're going to try to do everything to minimize our overlap, and try to get like a storage container on the property, get our stuff moved from here into the storage container. Then we're really trying to liquidate all of our bigger things, really trying to simplify and condense our lives as much as we can, so we're not taking around a bunch of stuff that we don't need or care about, and just stuff that we can fit in the shipping container. Anyhow, so I hope in an ideal world that we would be in an RV on our property February 1st. That might be a little bit optimistic, so I'll back off to maybe March 1st. December is more than halfway gone at this point, and we're going home to see family, so there's realistically not a lot we can do now. We can do try to do a lot of our pre-planning, where we're going to put stuff, how we're going to build this thing, start looking for the RV and tanks, and try to line all that stuff up. So as soon as we get the property, we can say go. And then, I have to time that with giving 30 days notice on the property here. With that being said, I hope that when the time works out, I hope that we actually are in our RV in 60 to 90 days. So I'm going to light this fuse here soon, and hopefully it all comes together on time. I hope that in an ideal world, hold for helicopter.